righty, you are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants will be taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. They lost the Super Bowl because they suck. Philadelphia sucks. Rolls right off the tongue there, folks. Philadelphia sucks. Welcome to the Gridiron. My dog's here. Got to move the chair. Come on in, Randy. All right, well, anybody out there at all, other than my dog, man, that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening. Thank you so much. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay of this, hey, what's up there? What's up, Jersey guys? Yeah, and Randy. Randy's here. We're all here. Whoever's going to spend any time watching me this evening, I greatly appreciate it. If anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay of this, once again, thank you. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away, throw in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box. Yeah, give me 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. But also, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour or whatever, yeah, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away. Yeah. Oh, man. Good old Evan Neal. Oh, man. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, there's a top link in the description box. Takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level I got is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean the world to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. And that way, next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed, I thank you. Then finally, in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links. The top one takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. And I say this in every video. Basically, my YouTube channel, my Facebook group, my Facebook page, which I'll go over in just a minute. It's all called the same thing. It's all called the New York Giants, the Gridiron, baby. I dumb it down for a moron like me. That way, I'm like, what's my channel called? What's the YouTube channel? What's the Facebook page? It's all called the same thing. I just make it nice and easy for me, right? So the New York Giants, the Gridiron, the group, where we're at, we're over 4,600 members, doing very, very well. Usually as soon as I get done going live, I'll spend like the next couple hours putting stuff in the group here and in the page once again, which I'll go over in just a minute. I try to get at least 10 things in there every day. And most of the time it's a lot more than that, especially like being part of like different groups and stuff like that, new Giants groups, people are at the training camps and they're taking pictures and all kinds of videos and stuff. So there's all kinds of stuff to copy and just throw in the group. It's absolutely fantastic. It's almost like never ending, the stuff that you can get in there. But I mean, I try to whether it's like a video, sharing an article, a post, a picture, just something showing some stats on a ball player, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, which are my personal favorites, right? I try to get at least 10 things in there every day, pretty much 7 days a week, pretty much almost 365. I got internet access. I'm putting stuff in there every day. And not only if you become a member of the group, not only do I put stuff in there, but the members post stuff in there as well, too. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in there every day. And then the second Facebook link, it takes you to my Facebook page, right? I'm the administrator in there. So I'm the only one that posts anything in here, but it's basically the same thing in my Facebook page called New York Giants, the Gridiron. What are we at? We're over 2,800 likes, and we have over 7,900 followers. I'm kind of getting the feeling any second now we're going to hit the 8,000 follower mark. The followers are going up really, really. I'm getting probably like close to at least 100 followers every day. So it's really absolutely doing a fantastic job. I mean, I couldn't be happier with with the page the way it's going. But basically it's all the same, the same thing. If I got internet access, right, it's there's stuff going in there 24/7, right? It's almost like 365. Whether, as I said, I try to get like at least 10 things in there every day. There was a video, a post, sharing an article, it's just something showing some stats on a player. Once again, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, which are my personal favorites, right? I said I try to get stuff in there every day, and I basically I don't commingle the stuff. So basically, I try to keep the stuff separate. Right. So for the most part, whatever I put in the page, I don't put in the group. The stuff that I put in the group, I don't put in the page unless I find something making fun of the Eagles and I just might want to share that with everybody. But for the most part, I just try to keep the stuff separate. So if you go to the page and you like and you follow it and you go to the group and you become a member, it's 7 days a week, almost 365. There's a ton of Giants information every day going in there. And, you can't always satisfy everybody. So I'll say this in every video too, right? So if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it and you go to the group and you become a member, if you're not 100% satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. All right, all that stuff said and done and out of the way with, yeah, well, we are talking New York Giants here, right? So Giants and injuries are kind of go hand in hand, right? Hand in hand. Giants and injuries. Hey, how you doing today? Let's get an injury. Let's put a helmet on, and we'll put a bubble wrap on your helmet, right? And we won't get no concussions, right? Yeah, sounds good to me. Unbelievable. How do you? Yeah. Even on like that Big Blue Kickoff Live, somebody called in and said, "How the heck do you get a concussion with those things on?" It's like, I don't know. It's some of this stuff's just simply amazing. Simply amazing. I mean, this is so far. This is the what was it? It was 2 years ago. We had the hamstring. It was the year of the hamstring. This year so far, it's the year of the tricep and the concussion. So we're kind of like neck and neck. Right, 2 concussions, 2 triceps. So we're going to see as we go along which one takes the lead. But I'll tell you what, I have no idea how on earth you can get a freaking concussion with the helmet and those things on. I have no idea. I don't know. You make them even bigger. You put more air in them. I mean, make it like it's like with the helmets, I guess they have the air in there, so it's a real good tight fit and all that. But then you put those things on, right, and you fill those things up with air. So maybe you have like about maybe about 6 inches worth of air all the way around you. So like I don't know, maybe you put the guys in a bubble or something. Maybe so that way they run into each other, they just there's no way you can get a concussion. I don't know. I mean, even if you hit your helmet against their helmet, I mean, you still get a concussion. I mean, I don't know. Maybe ran into the goalpost. It kind of makes you scratch your head. I have no idea. Less protection, maybe more. I don't know. Maybe what they should do is just go helmetless, right? Right, just go for practices. Just go helmetless, and then actually when the regular season, then throw the helmets on. Maybe I don't know. I mean, I would have thought almost for sure once they put those things on, those white thing, whatever they are, that's oh man, we're okay. We don't have to worry about concussions. That's good, Yeah, put the old leather helmets on, maybe, or maybe put a leather helmet on top of that white thing. I have no idea. Really. Yeah, like Otto Graham. What the heck? Boom. Says Evan Neal exits practice with a concussion. Giants right tackle Evan Neal left Friday's practice with a concussion. Evan Neal's development is one of the keys to the season, especially with so much of uncertainty on the line of scrimmage. And now he will miss practice time until he can clear the 5-step concussion protocol, which is good. You're glad that they got the 5-step and all that and everything. But it's like, it's like, what's going to happen when the regular season happens? And we don't. Jeez. Neal won at least 2 of his 3 one-on-one pass rushing reps earlier in practice, so that's good. That's promising. Let's see. When Neal headed inside with trainers, the Giants turned to Matt Parrott to finish the practice, which is actually might be a little blessing in disguise for Matt Parrott, because this is his final season, 2020, right? He was drafted with Andrew Thomas, so this is his final season. He's either got to put up or shut up, or get waived, right? Says last season swing tackle Tyree Phillips is in the mix to start at guard too. Interesting. The Giants practice again Saturday night before an off day on Sunday, so they're practicing one more. But man, what we got here? I know we got. It was about 3,000 articles on right tackle Evan Neal suffered a concussion during the practice and walked off the field with a trainer. The Giants later confirmed Neal was in the league protocol. Matt Parrott replaced him. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just, there's some of these things. It's like, really makes you scratch your head. I had no idea. BB said today that the guards have looked good. Yeah. They said Bredesen's been in there for Glowinski. They obviously Azudu has been in there, So, Bredesen, obviously it's the same thing like with Bredesen. Maybe he's just taking some snaps in there. Are we talking about like last night? Is there a competition at guard, or they're just trying to, they're just putting people in there because if something were to happen to Glowinski, obviously you got to have somebody to replace him. So who's that going to be? Is that going to be Bredesen? And you want to get him in there, get him a little familiarity with, Evan Neal and Michael Schmitz, and he'd be stepping in between the two of them. It'd be the worst thing to happen if you got something happens like game 3 against the 49ers, right? And then Glowinski goes down, and then here comes Bredesen in, got to go against the 49ers defensive front, right? And he'll be out there taking his first snap ever in between Michael Schmitz and Evan Neal. That's not too good. So so they just trying guys at different positions just because the guys, certainly doesn't mean anything. Interior line versus. Oh yeah, he plays left guard. Actually, they would kind of seem to think that Bredesen's is like his job to lose maybe the left guard position. That's what they seem like they were saying. Yo, welcome to Big. What was that? Big Pet Sports Talk. Yo. Do you think opening night Schmitz is starting? Oh, yeah. I definitely think so. Sure. Oh, yeah. Also, I was hearing some nice things, about it. Seems like he's doing a decent job, so I don't see where, I think he'll be there for sure. But then they also have, where are we at here? You got of course, you got the roster moves. They waived wide receiver Jeff Smith because he had a problem with his knee. He suffered in the offseason signed this offseason as a free agent, suffered a knee injury early in training camp and had not been able to practice for several days. So they waived him. But then they brought in Jeter. Okay. Now with Donovan Jeter, is 6 foot, big dude. But once again, 6'3", 325-pound nose tackle, played in one game last year for the Commanders. Last year, he made one tackle. Jeter went undrafted out of Michigan. He's 24, was in training camp with the Bears. He was waived earlier in the week. So, once again, he's just just a body. He played for Michigan. His final season in Michigan, it was in 2021. He graded, according to Pro Football Focus, that's all I'm going by. Because I'm not going to say here, I watched all his tape in college and he looked pretty good. No, I'm not going to say that. I didn't even know who he was, to be honest with you. But he played 4 years at Michigan. He played, some snaps in all 4 years. But even his senior season, his last season at Michigan, he played in 287 snaps. That's not telling you a lot, right? His junior season, he played in 231 snaps as a junior. Once again, for me, that's not telling you a lot. If he was a dominant force, this, that, and the other thing, he would have been in there for a lot more than 287 snaps. And he played his senior season. All right, senior season. Hey, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. Played in 14 games for Michigan his senior season. He played 287 snaps. So basically, he averaged like 20 snaps a game. Right. So once again, if he was a dominating force, they're not putting him in there for 20 snaps a game. He's in there for a whole lot more than just 20. So I said he graded out 64.0.1. His junior year, he graded out as 68. Sophomore season in 2019, he had 93 snaps. He graded out at 43.8. So I mean, basically he's a body. Don't expect too much. Last season with the Commanders, okay. Who was this here? Oh, yeah, the Commanders. He played against Detroit. They played at Detroit. He played in 18 snaps. So basically, last season for the Commanders, it was just defense. He didn't play in special teams, right? Special teams. Oh, okay. Oh, well, all right. Well, in that same game, he played 7 special team snaps still. So, where are we at here? So, I mean, last year, right, he played in one game, 18 defensive snaps. He graded out at 57.8. So, I mean, once again, not unbelievably horrible, but once again, for Donovan Jeter, I mean, if he's going to be something, kind of, chances are he would have played more than just one game, right? I mean, I said, just because he wasn't a Heisman Trophy winner in college doesn't certainly mean he can't play in the pros, but his stats or whatever were not phenomenal in college, and they weren't very promising there. So, Mike Mayock saw that kid's college tape. Mike, he saw everybody's college tape. Mike Mayock. Oh yeah, everybody's a kid. Yeah, the kid. Yeah. He's 6'3", 305 pounds. He's a little tight in the hips. Oh yeah, good old Mike Mayock. Yep. You got that right. What the heck is he here? Yeah, so I mean, don't expect, nothing from him. Let's see here. I got 9,000 tabs opened up here. So there we go. Yeah, because we got, their defensive line is a little dinged up right now because we got A'Shawn Robinson still with the meniscus. You don't know, will he be ready by regular season? Blah, 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 blah. You don't know. DJ Davidson's still coming back. He's on the PUP list. Ryder Anderson. The one nice thing about Ryder Anderson was that when he left, when he got in, it was kind of like, it may be like a tricep, and maybe he might be out for a little bit or whatever. But then Dable was talking about possibly, he's just he won't be out there today. So, and he said he'll be working through it or something like that. So it doesn't sound like it's going to be like a long-term kind of thing. So hopefully Ryder Anderson will be back reasonably soon. Okay. Let's see. Like I said, A'Shawn Robinson, Ryder Anderson, and DJ Davidson, right? So we got, some of the guys on the defensive front are dinged up. So that's why we're just bringing pretty much bodies in. So, I mean, where are we at here? Is that it? Nope, that's not it. There we go. There it is. All right. So, I mean, so like on the defensive line here, right? What I mean? We got Leonard Williams, Sexy Dexy, and Nunez Roches, right? Then you got A'Shawn Robinson, who's dinged up, DJ Davison, who's dinged up, Ryder Anderson, who's dinged up. Then you got Jordan Riley. I'm not sure if he's even going to, if these other guys wind up being healthy, I don't even know if Jordan Riley makes the final 53. Then we have Kobe Smith, Brandon Bryant, and Kevin Atkins. Okay, and then we have the newest member of the group here. Okay, Donovan Jeter. All right, so so I mean, after Nunez Roches, Leo the Lion, and Sexy Dexy, we got a whole lot of question marks on that defense at the front. I mean, if got Ashawn Robinson, if he comes back from the meniscus, now we know we got 4, right? You can rotate those 4. Of course, it's sometimes a little easier said than done because they all have to be healthy, right? It's kind of tough to rotate the 4 if one of them's healthy. But I mean, if you got Nunez Roaches, right? Ashawn Robinson, Sexy Dexy, and Leo Line, that's a nice foursome right there. Then whoever the third stringers are, whether it's Ryder Anderson or Jordan Riley, DJ Davidson, something like that, they don't have to be, phenomenal. You'd like them to be phenomenal, but they don't have to be. They just have to be some depth. But, if we can get Robinson in there, we'll at least have a good foursome, which would be absolutely fantastic, right? So as I said, but you don't know how long he's going to be out for. But I mean, as I said, with this Donovan Jeter bringing him in, once again, he's just a body. So don't expect too much from him. Right? I don't know. I mean, maybe he is. I mean, if he is, he must be on the other side of the family or something. Because I know Derek Jeter isn't 300. I don't know how tall Derek Jeter was, but this Donovan's 6'3", 325 pounds. So, but then again, let's see here. He was drafted. So I mean, I don't know. Derek maybe is his uncle or something. I don't know because Donovan Jeter here must be born around 2000. I mean, Derek Jeter started playing baseball 1990 with the Yankees, like 93 or something like that. So maybe Derek's his uncle. I guess maybe. Who knows? But then we had the all kinds of stuff happening today with the padded practice. Let's see here. Practice observations. Overall, it was a sloppy practice. There's a bunch of stuff here. This is who is this? Is this Patty Trainer? Yep, Patty Trainer. Giants country, fan nation. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Let's see here. They were in full practice on overall it was a sloppy practice with flags flying everywhere, particularly against the defense. The officials working the practice didn't signal what they were calling or who it was against. Some of the more blatant penalties included Darian Beavers grabbing on a Saquon Barkley's jersey as he tried to pull him to the ground. Safety Jason Pinnock getting flagged for taunting. And a few flags in which the defensive front jumped early. Suffice it to say that Dable was not happy with the sloppiness, and he let the players know about it very loudly. Speaking of Saquon, the running back had been lined up wide on the play in which Beavers grabbed his jersey. We've seen many plays where Saquon split out wide so far this camp, so it'll be interesting to see if the coaches keep that going into the season. I said I saw him. He ran a pad. I mean, there's one. It's on Twitter, but it's also in the groups and all that stuff and everything. I mean, it was like one-on-one with a Karake, and man, he put a move on a Karake. I mean, there was like the two of them were in the video. The two of them. You see Barkley running, and then you see a Karake trying to keep up with him, and all of a sudden Barkley puts a move, and Barkley takes off, and the Karake keeps focusing in on Saquon, and all of a sudden the Karake leaves the picture. It's like, where did the Karake go? And then of course, then they throw the ball behind Saquon. He just reaches back with one hand, pulls the ball in, and runs in for a touchdown. So he toasted a Karake. Man. Said the Wildcat made a triumphant return. Barkley took the direct snap from center and then scurried into the end zone to break the ice in the team drills. She said, I thought the run defense did a nice job shutting down the running game. Daniel Jones did manage to outrun Oshane Ximines, who's in for Azeez Ojulari, who was out, who's getting a rest today. So that's good. Still, for the most part, there was nothing to be had when running between the tackles as Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden were busy filling the lanes. That's the one thing with McFadden is good at that, like in the box, going downhill, plugging the holes and all. His sideline to sideline, can he get back into coverage? That's going to be one of those things that's going to wind up playing out in the preseason. Who winds up lining up next to Karake when they do have two middle linebackers on the field, because they can easily put three safeties on the field too. right? Since Dable was not happy with the defense, failed to get lined up correctly in time, which forced a timeout. Yeah, that's not good. At this point in camp, you'd like to think that the mental errors have dissipated enough to where they're no longer an issue. But in this practice, they were. Ooh, that's not good. Carter Coughlin, who's on the bubble as well, too, because, I'm sure he's probably not in the mix for the middle linebacker position. So he's going to have to make his, anything he can do. If he's got to make a couple plays when he's in there in preseason, and especially on special teams, if he wants to stay on his final 53. Because this is his last season, too, I believe. Same thing with Cam Brown. Because remember, they came with the team. Shane and Dable didn't draft them, didn't get them off of another team, didn't get them off the waiver wire, nothing. They came with the team. So Carter Coughlin, who is fighting for what could be the last roster spot at inside linebacker, made a heads-up grab of a Tyrod Taylor pass that was tipped by Cam Brown. So they both helped themselves big time on that. Now, the thing is, I know Carter Coughlin didn't do too bad last year on special teams. Not too bad. And Cam Brown's always been good. I mean, the height and the length and all that. Ben Bredesen is quietly having himself a nice camp. Bredesen is probably one of those guys Dable was talking about when he mentioned throwing adversity their way, as every day and even within the practice, Bredesen is asked to play a different position. In his one-on-one reps, he showed a feisty side by latching onto the defender who initially started to push him backwards and then violently shaking the defender off of him. Very nice. And just don't forget, I mean, Bredesen's, I think he's like 25. He's not old at all. So, if we want to, keeping him for depth purposes or whatever, that's not bad. It's not bad. He just has a tendency to get some injuries, though. Matt Peart, he's in his final season, right? Getting first-team reps at right tackle when Evan Neal had to leave with a concussion, had what I thought was a mixed bag. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. Sometimes you get good with him, and sometimes you get some head scratching with him. In the one-on-one reps, Peart did a nice job staying as low as he could with his pads. But on the team drills, his pads rose a few times to where he was either slow off the snap or just couldn't get his man fully blocked. On one team snap, Peart looked like he was trying to cut his man to Sean Bauer, only to be left whiffing at the air. Not good, as Bauer avoided him and got into the backfield for pressure. That's not good, yeah. Another practice, another botched center quarterback snap. Not sure who was at fault on this one, but Dable wasn't happy. Yes, and now all of a sudden I mean, like, we're going to notice him. Now, I'm not sure if she was talking about Michael Schmitz here, but now we got the pressure coming on. This is, at least, if this is Michael Schmitz, or if it's Lemieux, this is at least a second bad snap for one of those guys, because she talked about that. It might have been, it was yesterday, that each guy, Lemieux and Schmitz, had a bad snap. So Kayvon Thibodeau easily won one of his matchups against Evan Neal. Also showing a feisty side was rookie center John Michael Schmitz, who finishes off his one-on-one blocks with a little shove at the end. Yeah, I seen him do that against Dexter Lawrence too, when the first time they went up against each other. Like, Dexter was like pushing him into the backfield, and after it was all, Schmitz gives him a little shove in the back. Paris Campbell took a few snaps lined up from the backfield. It sure does look like that will be a keeper in the playbook. I'll tell you what, man, with the speed that he has, absolutely. I hope we can keep his knee, with the tendonitis, whatever he has wrong with his one knee. I hope we can keep that. But absolutely, get the ball in the guy's hands. It's like with Saquon, get the ball in the guy's hands, right? Good job by Colin Johnson to find the handle on a touchdown pass thrown by Tyrod Taylor. Johnson initially bobbled the ball, but his catch was ruled complete by the officials. We're seeing a lot of shocking here. We're seeing a lot of blitzing come in from the defensive secondary thus far in this camp. Hard to believe. Most of these blitzes getting home, though, which is not good. That's something to watch moving forward, especially for those who still question whether the Giants have enough pass rushers at outside linebacker. Tremont Green, this is the first time, actually, I've heard his name even mentioned in any, I haven't read every article, but I can't remember Tremont Green, his name being mentioned at all. Said he had a nice a nice breakup of a pass intended for Bryce Ford Wheaton to end the team drills. Then, of course, it says, what's next? The Giants got a padded practice tomorrow night at 5 because Dable's trying to, doesn't want, everybody getting into a routine. Okay, I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I do this, I do that. 8 o'clock, I'm in my car. I'm driving at that. 9 o'clock, I'm in the locker room. I'm putting my pad. 9:30, I'm hitting the field. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow. I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow. I'm going to do the same now. Now, Dable's throwing adversity at him, right? We got no pads. Then we got pads, and then we got pads at 5 o'clock at night. Then you got a day off, and then we're going to go to Detroit, and then we're going to do this. Then we're going to do, So he's keeping everything different. Adversity, different things. Doesn't want the guys getting into a rut or a routine or anything like that. So that's good. The team is off on Sunday, and we'll have a short practice Monday, and then they leave for Detroit for the joint practices with the Lions. So that's good. That's good. So, I know Dable, he likes to, what's up, Terrence? Everybody's impressed with how Dable was getting on them pretty hard. Yeah, that's right. That's oh, yeah. He gets loud. It's funny because sometimes he'll take his whistle, throw his whistle down, and they'll get all. Oh, yeah. What do we get? Empty backfield sets. Saquon running the single wing. Dave's using some of Steve Owens' playbooks. Yeah, they're using all kinds of stuff, man. It's really, it's good. Also what Kafka was kind of talking about, it's like they're just trying out different things. That's all. There's not just because they try this one thing in practice, it doesn't mean they're going to have it during the regular season. But they're trying as much as they can. Especially with the speed, man. You got the speed, man. You can do a lot of things. A lot of things, right? The Wildcat, yeah. Saquon with the Wildcat, not bad. I saw something was Cole Beasley. Darnay Holmes was trying to cover him. I think they called it was a whip route. It was in one of the Giants. It's one of the groups for the Giants. It was in multiple groups, I think it was, but I think it was also on Twitter too as well. Cole Beasley kind of ran out, whatever. It was 6, 7, 8 yards. He started cutting across, and he stopped, and he whipped. I guess that's what they call a whip route, I guess. He stopped, he turned around and went back the other way. Well, when he stopped and he turned around and went back the other way, Darnay Holmes fell down. and Cole Beasley was started, finished running his route. Daniel Jones just kind of lobbed the ball to him. He caught it. Phew. So Beasley, he's got his moves. I'm also hearing he's, you get him in the slot. He's like, nobody can cover him, and also he has very good hands too. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be one of those things, be interesting to see. Gifford taking the direct snap, running the ball, sweep off all-time football. Oh yeah, well, hey, we could use Rosie Brown. I'll take him, huh? But so we got a lot of good stuff going on. But then we got, of course, and we got 1 week. So 1 week, I even looked at what time it was. Trying to figure out what time the Giants. Nah, that's not it. Let me see. The Giants. There we go. 7 o'clock. Okay, so next Friday at 7 o'clock. That's when the preseason game. So actually, by this time next week, the first preseason game will be over with. So, we got 1 week, and the preseason. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And then the preseason game starts now. The thing, if I can find it here, I got 300,000. There we go. Now there's so much stuff. So many, you know what I mean? Everywhere. My God, I said, what I'm looking at here. Of course, they got, well, of course, because we got Wan'Dale Robinson's on PUP, right? But it's like they got 17 wide receivers here. Holy crap. Well, okay, nope. Whoever's got this is not doing a good job. They got Jeff Smith on here, so that's not good. Okay, Polk's not on here. Okay, all right. So the Giants looks like that maybe they have 16 guys, 16 wide receivers. I mean, yeah, it's a shame. So a bunch of these guys are, going to get cut, and then hopefully they can make it through waivers, and the Giants can sneak them on the practice squad. But I mean, you can only have, you can't keep 5 wide receivers on the practice squad because you want to keep something of everything, right? So maybe 2 guys if they're lucky. So the wide receiver, that's, well, actually, so what do we got? Well, we got a little over 5 weeks until the regular season starts. But obviously, we know left tackle. We know we got probably left guard. We kind of know what we got. The center, we kind of know what we got. Obviously right tackle with Evan Neal, but the right guard, we know who we got. The left guard is possibly Bredesen, maybe Azudu, but who's the swing tackle going to be? Who's the other guys? If they're going to keep like 8 or 9 guys, right, on the 53, we kind of know, at least with Bredesen and Azudu, right? So we got Thomas, we got Neal, we got Glowinski, we got Schmitz, we got Bredesen and Azudu. So we know 6. So we're got to get at least 3 other guys. Who are the 3 other guys going to be? Yeah. Then we got a tight end. How many tight ends are they going to keep? Right? Are they going to look for the Sweeney kind of being the 3rd guy, where they're more interested in maybe blocking, or they want the more athletic Cager wide receiver kind of tight end, right? Because with Bellinger, he can block. Darren Waller can block because he came from Georgia Tech. He's not a top 5 blocker, but he can block. He has blocked at Georgia Tech. You block. You go there as a tight end. You're not worried too much about catching 1,000 yards worth of receptions. You're more worried about blocking at Georgia Tech. But so who, the battle between like Sweeney and Cager. I'm not sure if Ryan Jones is going to be able to, crack the top 3. But then, of course, at quarterback, with Danny DeVito, they're going to, obviously, I'm sure that you're going to maybe have just 2 on the roster. Danny DeVito, I guess maybe he might be the practice squad. But then, of course, you got the running backs too. Oh, let's not forget about Chris Myrick too, right? But at the running backs, right? We know we got Saquon. Eric Gray's pretty much a lock. Then who's going to be the other guy, right? Is it going to be Breida or Brightwell? James Robinson, who I haven't heard super spectacular things about in preseason so far, or in training camp. I haven't heard a lot of great things about him. And Jashawn Corbin too. Haven't heard great things about him either. So it'd be interesting to see, because you got Gary Brightwell, right? Who's your 3rd guy? You got special teams with him, right? So it's going to be interesting to see, quite possibly, between maybe Breida and Brightwell, who maybe the 3rd running back is, right? And then, of course, does Robinson or Jashawn Corbin even make the team at all? Right. So on offense, there's a ton of guys, ton of positions. Just everywhere. Of course, then you got, the defensive line, right? Obviously you just kind of, hopefully we can get some guys staying healthy on the defensive line. Beasley is the master of option. Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. If he can get on 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock next week. Yeah. I might try to go live for that. I don't know if it's going to be on TV or not. That sometimes like NFL Network has them, but sometimes they have them on for like 15 minutes and then they go to maybe another game or something. So if I can get them, see, the problem is, I'm down here. I'm in Philly, so they don't care too much about the Giants. So I don't know if the Giants are on TV. I might go live for that one, but we'll have to wait and see as it comes closer. But well, yeah, you were saying, Terrence, about Beasley. A lot of I keep hearing is like, he's like uncoverable in the slot. Especially if he, and that's the beauty of with the Dable, their offense is like, you go to line of scrimmage, it's like, okay, I'm supposed to run whatever, a 5 and out, whatever, No, I can do that, but if they're doing this, and I can go that way. If they're coming this way, I can do that. They have options, and especially if Beasley's good at reading the defense and what they're trying to do and all that, if he can, he has the options of running a couple different routes. Oh yeah, he could be. He could be a huge asset, absolutely huge. Especially you figure, if the Giants, get into those 3rd and 6 or 7s or whatever, they don't need 20-yard completion. You just need somebody to get wiggle open, get 5, 6, 7 yards, get a first down. I mean, he could be priceless, absolutely priceless. I mean, especially for what they're probably paying him. Oh, yeah. Who we got? I get how many wide receivers? Yeah, that's the thing. A tight end as he adds the passing. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, because they got Sweeney, but he's more like of a blocker. You know what I mean? And then they got Chris Myrick, who's kind of, I was looking at there's the Giants depth chart. They have Chris Myrick also possibly as a fullback too. But I mean, like Cager, is obviously the more of a wide receiver tight end. And I said, and you got Bellinger, who's a blocker. And the ball hits his hands for the most part, he's catching it. And then, of course, you got Waller. So I mean, I could see him keeping those three guys. That's a good thing. H-back, yeah. So on his depth chart here, there it is. Yeah, the depth chart. What do they got? They don't. Who is this here? This is OurLads.com. This is the New York Giants depth chart. They don't even have the HB here. They just have FB. They got fullback. But I guess they should have the HB here for Myrick. Yeah. But yeah, wide receivers. I don't, I mean, Big Blue Kickoff Live. I was listening to them today. They were talking, somebody, the one Dip SHIT who calls in guy Charlie. What a moron. Absolute moron. I have a hard time even listening to that. So a lot of times I just fast forward past it because I can't stand listening. He's just such an idiot. He was saying that we keep 7 wide receivers, and they're like, no, you're probably not going to keep 7. They're probably going to keep 6. And this was Schmeltz and the other guy. Wasn't Paul Dottino. Schmeltz and I can't remember what the guy's name is. They said 6. So, and then out of the 6, that's on your 53. And what they were saying, maybe out of this, because you're only dressing, you only dress like 46. So you got 7 guys that aren't even going to dress. So you got 46, but they say out of the 7 guys who aren't going to dress, one of them might be a wide receiver. So they were saying they might only bring like 5 wide receivers to a game. But Charlie was like, yeah, I think he wanted Khalil Pimpleton to be one of the wide receivers. And this guy was such an idiot. He's like, I want to keep Khalil Pimpleton in there as one of the 7 wide receivers that the Giants keep. And then he couldn't even name like 3 other wide receivers the Giants even had on his team. I mean, just what an absolute idiot. But they seem to think he said the pimp. Yeah. Schmeltz was good with JJ, the pimp. He said with the pimp, but he said I also want they were laughing at the pimp. Yeah, the pimp. I want him to keep the pimp, but and they were all laughing at it. And then Charlie's like, yeah, I want him to draft Hooker too, like Hendon Hooker. So he's like, yeah, I want him to draft Hooker too, and they were laughing at that too. You got the pimp, and then you got the Hooker, and all. I mean, that was. But that just goes to show you, it's just like he's just silly. It's just I mean. And then the other guy, was it Wilson? The guy comes on after him. He's worried. I mean, everything, it's just like the sky's falling. I mean, I can't stand listening to him. He's just, listen, guys, let me tell you something. You know what I'm worried about? Oh, I'm worried about Saquon. I'm worried about, he didn't sign the contract. He signed the contract and he didn't want to, I'm worried about this spreading into the locker room and causing deceit. And I think the Giants are going to go down the tubes this year because of Saquon. Just what an idiot. Absolute freaking idiot. I can't, some of these guys are calling. I just can't stand listening to them. The guy Wilson, he worries about it. There's some horrible thing that's going to happen to the Giants every time he calls in. He's worried about something, and Charlie's a moron. I can't stand listening to him. Paul, huh? Yeah, probably. Yeah, Paul, because P-Doc can't stand anything. Can't stand that kind of stuff. But they were thinking that they might keep like 6 wide receivers. But I mean, it's like, who are you going to keep? And as I'm saying, because let's say we got Sterling Shepard, right? He just came back, and Cole Beasley. They just brought him. We were like, I was like scratching my head, who are we going to keep? And then they bring Cole Beasley in. It's like, what the? Let's see here. Where are we at here? I mean, Hodgins, right? Right? Is that a lock? Pretty much. Hyatt? Oh yeah, I'd say so. And how about Darius Slayton? Okay, there you go. And Paris Campbell, right? Let's not forget Wan'Dale Robinson, right? When he comes off a pup, he's coming back. Now you don't know because he got injured a little later in the season, so he might, he'll start on pup probably and maybe come back later on. But he's on the team. Now you're not sure about Shep. You'd love to keep him, but if it's a numbers game, he might be on the man. Colin Johnson. He's having a good. Do you want it a 6'6" dude? You want to let him go? Let him go and hopefully he clears waivers. Whew, right? Jeff Smith's gone. You said we got Cole Beasley. Then you got Jamison Crowder, the crafty veteran. It would just be hard to let him go. You have Jaden Mickens, David Sills, Khalil Pimpleton. Okay. But I said it's Hodgins, Slayton, Campbell, Robinson, Shepard, Hyatt, Colin Johnson, Cole Beasley, and so that's 8, right? As I said, and then of course we got Bryce Ford Wheaton. Do you want to let that guy? The Giants signed him to like whatever, a signing bonus or something like that, a couple $100,000, right? So that's like 9 solid guys right there. That's, especially with Bryce Ford Wheaton, because he might be one of those ones that if they just like let him go, he ain't clearing waivers, right? Or somebody's picking him, maybe just, The one thing is that when you let him go at the end, after you cut him after the third game and all, if somebody grabbed him, they have to put him on the 53. So now you're taking somebody with like no NFL experience at all, and you're putting them on your 53 roster. So, so maybe, but I'm saying, but that's like 9 guys. So, you know what I'm saying? So, so if they keep 6, at least 3 other guys that they have to like. Robinson beyond is on PUP, okay, but then you try to maybe get 2 guys on the practice squad. It's like that's a lot of guys. Johnson gives the wide receiver room some different. Well, but that's the thing. They got like everything. They got speed now. They got height. They got Waller, who's like LeBron James running out there. Holy crap, right? I said with Wheaton and Slayton and Paris Campbell and Hyatt, you got some speed, right? As Hodgins is really did good. Colin Johnson with the height, it's like they got pretty much everything. The one thing they don't have is like the AJ Brown. They don't have the Waddle. They don't have the Chase or nothing. They don't have the ABCD Lamb, right? They don't have that, But we got pretty much. We do and we don't. We do with Waller, but he's a tight end. But he won't be in the tight end position. He might be all. I heard on some of the articles he started in the backfield and he went in motion, or they had him out wide, or So he's not necessarily going to be the traditional wide receiver spots all season long. But as far as a wide receiver, we don't have the ABCD Lamb or guys like that, somebody like that. But we got pretty much everything else. You want something, like a Cole Beasley, short, somebody can just get open. We got it. If you want speed to take the top off, we got it. You want somebody with some good hands, we got it. Right? You want somebody tall, we got it. There's nothing we don't have except for the, when we had OBJ, right? Maybe I can turn into that. We'll have to wait and see. But I was just saying that I think as far as offensive rookie of the year for him, I think the one thing that's going to hinder him a little bit is that because we got one ball to go to so many guys, and he's probably not going to be on the field every down. He has to stay healthy, this, that, and other thing. So I can't see him catching a ton of passes, not like 70 or 80. I can't see that happening for a ton of yards. I could see maybe yards per reception being up there. Yeah. But I mean, and maybe, as I said, maybe 50 catches. I said maybe 7, 8 touchdowns, somewhere around there. You know, his touchdown to reception ratio being pretty good. But as far as like, you know, catching a whole bunch of balls, I can't see that, especially with the other guys we got out there. You know, well, I mean, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. I mean, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if you know, between like Quentin Johnston and I heard Njigba is pretty good, but I mean, between like getting Hyatt, between like Jordan Addison, you know, and Quentin Johnson, you know, if Hyatt winds up working out better than those guys do, that'd be pretty good. And especially if we got him in the 3rd round too. Woo! Oh yeah, we did good. Oh, it might. You're right, it might. And then on the defensive side of the ball, as I said, yeah, with the I mean, the defensive line, it's tough. We know, obviously, Nacho, Sexy Dexy, Leonard Williams, and A'Shawn Robinson. Hopefully he'll be back sometime, right? But then you got, you know, I said DJ David, he's on PUP, right? Ryder Anderson. Then you got, I said, then it's a battle for, I mean, Kevin Atkins, Kobe Smith, Jordan Riley, Brandon Bryant. You know, so they. That's that's some depth, but don't expect a ton from those guys. Then of course, we got, you know, obviously the outside linebackers. I like to see Boltonado on the field, see what he can do. I've heard some nice things about Toman Fox so far this year. Obviously, and Hottie has been working through some things. But what else we got? Ximines and it's Deshaun Bauer. You know, so how many you know, outside linebackers, edge rushers that are going to wind up keeping, you know, so we got some battles there. Obviously, we got the battles between, you know, who's going to line up next to Karake. You know, obviously, I said you got McFadden, you got Beavers who are battling that out for there. I mean, you know, can Carter Coughlin and Cam Brown latch on because this is their 4th season? You know, I don't know if after this season, I don't think, you know, have to see if they want to bring them back. We got with Deontay Johnson. We got Troy Brown. Let's see here. And then, of course, cornerbacks. We know we got Banks. Is Trey Hawkins going to wind up nudging his way into the first team, right? Who's going to be the who's like the slot corner, shall we say? Right? Is it going to be Flott in the slot? You know, Darnay Holmes. Remember, if they get rid of Darnay Holmes, they save themselves some money on the salary cap. So it'd be interesting to see, can Aaron Robinson ever come back? Then, of course, safety. Who's going to wind up winning next to Xavier McKinney? I heard a lot of good things about Jason Pinnock so far this year. So far, he seems like you know, he's got the upper hand. But I mean, there's a ton of guys out, you know, ton of positions, you know, pretty much offense, defense. Where we got here, there's going to be the steal of the draft. He could be, man. I'll tell you. I mean, he's really seemed like he's doing good. I mean, obviously, also it's just training camp, and a lot of what he did, was, you know, just to be a little fair. You know, I mean, it was against like maybe they're on the 2nd team, but I mean, some of his reps really. I mean, he was just like on the guys. It was like white on rice. I mean, it was like, yeah, you know, he's like wherever they went, he went. You know, it's like, and he's got the 6'3". I mean, for a cornerback, wow, nice. You know, the height, wow, that's very impressive. And I said, I mean, he could be. I mean, a 6th rounder, wow. Oh yeah. If Azeez and Kayvon can stay healthy or deep, it could be. I mean, if you listen to the Believe in Giants, Carl Banks was saying, he said if he can stay healthy, he said Azeez is going to get at a minimum, he said 15 sacks. Bob Pop is like 15. So, but I mean, Carl Banks knows his stuff. I mean, you know, he said. He looks good, and I said you can even see last year there were times when the first time, well, I can't remember because he was injured and then he came back after a while. And like one of the first games he started playing him, I mean, he just looked like it was just like shot out of a rocket. I mean, he was just off that corner fast. He said, because he spoke to the media today too. He said, somebody asked him, so what did you do? They said, I think they asked him, did he put on extra weight or did he put on muscle or something like that? I think he said he was around the same weight. So I wasn't so much that, but he did mention, they asked, so what have you done? In the off season, it was different. He said he tried to do, I guess, stretching, either more stretching or he wasn't doing stretching before. Now he is doing stretching, but he said he also took up yoga too, as well. So that ain't easy. I mean, some of those yoga poses are pretty darn tough. I mean, certainly they'll strengthen, they'll stretch you, but they'll also strengthen certain areas you didn't even know needed to be strengthened. So yoga is very good. So if he takes that stuff seriously, if he can stay healthy. Oh yeah. Because it's like you don't know who you're going to help out. Are you going to try to help out against Kayvon? Put an extra blocker on him? Okay. So now you got one-on-one with Leonard Williams, one-on-one with Sexy Dexy, one-on-one with Azeez Ojulari. You're going to maybe slide toward Azeez. Now you got one-on-one with Sexy Dexy, one-on-one with Leonard Williams, one-on-one with Kayvon. You're going to, and obviously the one thing is when you got the edge rushers coming in from the outside, the quarterback steps up in the pocket. But if you can't step up because you're single blocking Dexter Lawrence and he's pushing the center back into the quarterback's lap, well, you might want to, double team Sexy Dexy. That makes sense to me, right? So the cornerback has a pocket to step up into. That makes a lot of sense. But so now you got Azeez Ojulari, one-on-one, Leonard Williams, who can still, it's a contract year for him. He's going to want to play hard. Not that he was, loafing or anything like that in the years in the past, but we saw what he did before when that contract year after 2020, he got 11 and a half sacks. He looked like a whole new man. So it's a contract year for him. So single blocking him could cause you some trouble. So, if you're going to double cover Leonard Williams, now you got one-on-one with Dexter Lawrence, one-on-one with Azeez Ojulari, one-on-one with Kayvon, so it's almost kind of like pick your poison. The problem is that when those guys have to come off the field, A'Shawn Robinson, if he's healthy, not Joe, right? Okay, good, very good, good depth, but you're not going to get much out of the rush from him. Same thing with Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon. That's why I was kind of hoping maybe if they could have signed Saquon to a long term and dropped his salary down this year, or did something with somebody else, restructured their contract or something, and dropped their pay down this year and got a little bit of money. Go out there and get that third edge rusher. You know what I mean? Get somebody, because who behind those four guys are going to, consistently, have, get some good pressure on the quarterback. Beside, Kayvon, Azeez, Sexy Dexy, and later line. Who's going to, is there somebody in there that really scares you? Doesn't to me. I mean, Tolman Fox will do a nice job. Hottie, don't expect much from him. Oshane Ximines, maybe, but I mean, it's like with the Eagles. I mean, last year, they could just, they just kept bringing people in off the stands who were getting 15 sacks in the season. It's just unbelievable, So, if those guys aren't on the field, then we, the pass rush definitely takes a little nosedive down. I was kind of hoping they could get another pass rusher, but it is what it is. But at least those four guys could be pretty formidable. So we'll have to wait and see. But so we got one more practice tomorrow, right? Padded practice tomorrow night. So I'll be back again tomorrow. So it's at 5:00. So hopefully by the time it's all said and done and we come on live, at least I'll have a bunch of stuff, we can talk about. Hopefully we won't be talking anything, no more concussions, right? Man, at least thankfully, it's a concussion, which is obviously not good, but it's something, hopefully it's not going to be 2, 3, 4 weeks or something like that. It's not a torn Achilles or an ACL or nothing like that. So just keep your fingers crossed. But then again, once again, it's contact, it's football. Things are going to happen. So is what it is. So it's been 59, almost 60 minutes. Jersey guys, thank you. Terrence, thank you guys. Good talking to you guys. So whoever spent any time watching me live, thank you, thank you, thank you. Or if anybody spends any time watching the replay, this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.